Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you for turning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I got the Daily Tarot by Renata Lechner. For the supportive oracle cards, I have the Magical Spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. I'm going to do relationship first, single second. Sagittarius. Okay. This feels like the biggest part. Your partner's challenge. It's usually a challenge card. It looks like a challenge group right now. There's a bunch of things going on here, and it doesn't really feel like it's all that bad. There's one card at the bottom. See, this really isn't bad, but I feel like they're not viewing it that way initially. So I'll give you the 4 cards, and then we'll go from there. If I can pick them up. The 8 of Swords, the Chariot. The 8 of Swords is like the main one. The Chariot is coming off of it. And Victory and Divine Guidance are right on top of it in the reading. But that's where they are, if you want to see them. I'm getting, they feel forced into a change. Something's going forward, whether they like it or not. It's a good thing. This is something that's going to actually benefit them. Benefit them. It may benefit you, but it feels more centered on them. So we'll just stick with that. You know whether or not it's going to benefit you if this reading hits. So I'm not going to go crazy about that. But it's going forward whether they like it or not is what I'm getting. But it is a good thing. And I'm getting Divine Guidance with Victory. Like, this is something that's well-deserved and actually going to improve things for them. And possibly you, but it's more about them. This is more about them. But they feel like they're forced into a corner and they have no choice, and it's just taking off, and they're just... It's kind of like they're tied to the plane and the plane's taking off, and they're like, whoa! Like, it's just going, and they're just... There's nothing they can do. It's just, here we go. But I'm noticing it's in the challenge position. Like, they need to embrace that. They do need to embrace that. I'm going to actually let you know about... But the card that helps them is the 8 of Wands. This moment's not going to last very long. This is one of the things I feel like it's freaking them out. It's going quick, happening fast. And I feel like that's another reason this is probably difficult. It's actually working to their benefit that this is happening really quick. It's kind of like ripping off the Band-Aid. But it seems like that's the major thing with this whole situation. Now, the Strength card is where they're standing. They are going to withstand this. They are going to hold themselves together while this is happening. They are going to make it. But I'm also seeing, like, they got the Queen of Cups here. Like, they might be holding back from you how they're really feeling about this. Like, it's exciting, but I feel like they're kind of, it's going. This is usually a positive card, and it's not that it's not a positive card this time, but I feel like it's more about holding back emotion, holding back how somebody feels. I feel like this is stressful for them. And it's coupled with the Hierophant. Together. Okay. This is just not according to their plan is what I'm getting. To them, the way this is going and taking off, for some reason it's not according to their plan. Even if everything is right on schedule and you saw this coming and they should have too, to them it's not on plan. For some reason, they thought it was going to go differently. That's what I'm getting from this. And they're holding that back from you. They're holding that feeling back. They're not really exploring it, but they might not be sharing it with anybody. It's almost like things are good, and they don't feel like it's right for them to complain. One of those things. But I don't feel like they like it. Initially, they don't like it anyway. It's going so fast. They feel like they have no choice. They're just locked into it. It's not going according to their plan. They're holding back on how they're feeling about it. They are weathering it with the Strength card. Like, they're holding themselves together. They're making it through. But what I'm getting here is, like, there might be an emotional disconnect. Is that the problem? Because I feel like there's an emotional disconnect. When they're going through all of this, I feel like there's an emotional disconnect from you. That might be why this might be coming to you. If this reading is hitting with you, and this might be why. That may be because there's an emotional disconnect, and that's making you very uncomfortable. Your challenge card is the Lovers. Your challenge card is being close to your partner, and you know something isn't right. You know they're not saying something. You know them well enough at this point. What I'm getting, Sagittarius, yeah, you know something's off. You know something isn't right. You know they're not saying something. You know they're kind of bothered by something, and they're not telling you. The Lovers card here in your challenge position is like you want to be closer to them. You want to know what's going on. You want to talk it out, whatever. I feel like the way this energy is coming in, you might be wondering if it's something to do with you, because they might be acting a little strange with you because they don't want to talk about it. For some reason, they just don't want to talk about it. But if they're not talking to you, I don't feel like they're talking to pretty much anybody. I don't feel like they're talking to anybody, to be honest with you. That might not be the case in every situation, but they've just decided not going to talk about it. And it bothers you. I understand, that makes sense. But I'm also seeing the face down card for you is the Strength. Like they're telling me this is face down. It's not like you're trying to weather it, but you seem to be weathering it. But I'm also getting like this is a transitory period. It's not always going to stay this way. You may not ever find out. They may never share how they were feeling during this time. But the moment, the feeling distant, emotionally distant, it is going to pass, is what I'm getting. And it's going to go back to a better state. Now, I'm seeing the Three of Swords for you, but the position it's in is curious, because this is what makes things better for you. I feel like when they're going through this, they're off on their own, doing whatever they're doing, but they're going through this on their own. They're not allowing you to be a part of it. Why is the Three of Swords positive for you? Independence. Asserting independence. I feel like this is healthy, actually. And I feel like you have other things to... What's matching up with this is the Three of Pentacles for where you're standing, what you're going through at the time that your partner's going through that and has that strength going on and they're not really communicating with you. I'm getting there's other things you have to do anyway. There's other things you're focusing your energy on. The fact that this is transitory is I mean, that's good anyway, but I feel like you're off doing other things, keeping yourself occupied, and it feels like that's working. We might come back to this because I find these two working together a little curious. Because I feel, no, there's more to this. I feel like you're actually taking steps to bring you closer. And that's actually going to benefit you after this situation moves on. Because I feel like you're taking steps for you to be together more. You're like, well, when you're free, I'd like to do this with you. You're setting things up for like time with your partner. That's a good thing. You're taking steps because you're feeling like, you know, something's really wrong here. So you're like, I need time with my partner. You're setting up dinner dates. You're setting up things to do with your partner. You're setting things up so that way in the future, and it's not impeding on their process at all, whatever they're going through. You're making sure that you'll be able to be with them because you want to get closer to them to find out what's wrong. That's the whole point. You're trying to find out what's wrong. So you're setting up all these things to do with your partner. That's working to your benefit. This is good for both of you. This is really good for this relationship. This is really good. It's like turning a bad situation good, but it's like you're having a benefit you weren't expecting. Like, I don't know how to explain this. There's nothing wrong with you. They have no problem with you. I'm not connecting in this reading with them having any problem with you. I'm just getting they've decided they're going to keep this to themselves. They're going through it. It's all happening really fast. They don't seem to want to talk it out. They don't want to talk it out. Because it's not a bad situation. They have no choice but go along with it. It's going forward, and they're just like, woo, there they go. I just feel like it might be a moment where they're just having a hard time accepting that things are not in their control as much as they'd like them to be. Now, you set that up. You set these things up to be closer to your partner. And I get justice with the good cheer. I still am not convinced they're going to tell you what was going on. But I do feel the justice with the good cheer is like they're showing you how much they love you. And you're seeing that payoff of spending more time with them. You're seeing that love. You're feeling connected. You're feeling that love, that connection with your partner that you want. The justice with the good cheer is coming together very well. They have the Fool card. They're just walking away from what they went through. They don't want to deal with it. And they're just centering on you. They're just centering their energy on spending time with you and enjoying time with you. This seems to be working for you. It's definitely working for them. And I'm getting the Page of Wands is where you're standing. Like you're very dependable to keep things moving forward. And I feel like that's how they're viewing you. You're not just laying down and playing dead. You're like, well, something's going on. I'm going to keep going to make it right. I'm going to keep going to do what I need to do to make this work out. The spiritual card for you is the Wheel of Fortune. And I'm going to say that the way you're handling that makes the wheel turn in your favor. The way you're going about this, and I'm seeing this Three of Swords, and I'm like, the fact that you're worried, like this could really be a problem for this relationship, it's motivating you to do these things to make sure you have time with your partner. That's your wheel. You're pushing the wheel in your favor. You're connecting with your partner in a way that you're strengthening the relationship. I still don't feel your partner really talking about what they were going through, but they were never unhappy with you. But the fact that you're doing this, it's really relieving some stress they had about that. It's very good for them. You're feeling that love from them. You're feeling that connection and that joy to be with them. It's very good for you. Besides this reading, unless you can see that, like from this reading, if you can see that they're going through something they're going through a really good change, and hopefully the perspective is kind of cluing you into what they're going through. Other than that, you may not have any idea about what's going through their head. But what I'm connecting with this reading is that they have no problem with you. It's something else. But the way you're taking it is like you're afraid there's a problem with the relationship. So you're preemptively making sure that's, what's going on. I need to get closer to my partner because I don't want this to fall apart. By doing that, you're helping your partner move on. You're feeling good. Justice and good cheer are in your favor. I'm getting the situation moves on and it feels fine. I feel like it's fine. Hopefully this reading brings you some answers. I feel like it's maybe, if this reading is hitting with you, it might be just kind of clicking in with you, like some of the things your partner might be going through that might help you make sense about why they're being so odd at the moment, or were odd maybe previously. All right, I think we're good. Let's do Sagittarius single and see what we got for those. Good, there we go. All right, what do we got for single Sagittarius? What do we have for single Sagittarius? What do we have for single Sagittarius? Messages for single Sagittarians, empowering messages to help them see the truth about what's going on and empower them to make the choices that they want to make. Single Sagittarian. Messages for single Sagittarians. Okay. I bless these cards to match up with those cards for empowering information for the single Sagittarians to help them see the truth and help them make decisions to go the way they want to go in love. All right. Let's go ahead and see what we got. Oh, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to cheat. All right, let's see. Single Sagittarians. A lot of emotion here. According to the way this feels, you got two cards in the environment. The first one is the Queen of Wands. And I feel like this is somebody coming towards you. Now, this is somebody who I feel like they have a strong foundation. Or it looks... They look really good, like what's around them. Like I don't know if I want to say equity-wise, like what they have in assets, or maybe they come from a good family, maybe they have good friends around them. It looks like this person has a really positive foundation. And you got the Knight of Cups, but I feel like it's connected to them. I feel like it's connected to them, like, you may have known this person for a while, or you just might be looking at them like they come from a good family, they have a good, like they've made good choices. Looking at their history, it looks very positive to you. Now, where you're standing, I feel like you got two things going on. You may feel a little bit, and I want to be sure. Let me just be sure. You're standing with the Five of Pentacles. You might feel a little bit inadequate, like you don't have what it takes to keep up with this person, or whatever it is about their life you see as a very positive thing, you don't feel like you can match it. In fact, you might feel your version of the same thing or something along those lines, or there's something about your life that you feel might run as a deficit to them. Excuse me. Now, my first thought, like, if you're feeling like you're running at a deficit when it comes in comparison to this person, it just is just going to seem like it. I don't feel like that's how it really is, but it may seem like it. That's your perception at this point. And I'm getting the Empress card here with it. Is kind of like you want to be valued. You want to be a part of the system, or the situation, I should say, that can add value. You want to help. You want to be of help. You want to be valued in somebody who helps the situation do better. You want to be like that person who improves things. You don't want to be somebody who's holding things back. And you're worried, I feel, that maybe you don't have what it takes, or you don't have enough to give, or you don't have the skill set to actually add to the situation. And you're kind of worried about that. Now, okay, so this card makes more sense with that. You got this Nine of Swords at the bottom. You're considering walking away from it because of that. It's weird to have that, because you're considering walking away, but you do realize you do have some value here. It's almost like being the type of person you are, being that dedicated person, you're very well aware that you do have something to give, but it's the Page of Pentacles. You're afraid that it's not enough. You do have something to give, you're just afraid that it's not enough. If this reading is hitting, I feel like you're having feelings of inadequacy for some reason or another. And I'm getting here in the center, the Eight of Swords with the Eight of Cups. Oh, we got double eights. Okay. See, the Eight of Swords is another. You're feeling stuck. Like you just can't make the grade. I'm getting it over and over again. If this reading is hitting, that's a big kicker of what will hit with this. Like you just don't feel like you have what it takes to really click with it, to really make this work. But I'm noticing the Eight of Cups coming in next. Even though you're feeling that way, if this reading is hitting, you seem to be still slowly inching forward. You're very attracted to this person, and I feel like this person is coming towards you, and you're not negating them out. You're not telling them no. You're not walking away from it. But I feel like you're kind of like, I don't know where this is going, but maybe there is hope, because maybe this person is seeing something about me that I'm not seeing. You want to be hopeful, but they keep coming towards you, and you're just kind of like, well, there must be something they see that I don't, because I don't know how I'm supposed to add to their life. I feel like you're in a weird place. Like you're feeling a little inadequate. If this is hitting, I know I hate saying it. I'm sorry, but it does feel like that's a primary feeling. But the fact that they keep coming towards you, you don't want to negate them out, and you're considering walking away, but they keep coming towards you, so you keep going along with the situation. And you're wondering, maybe there is hope here. Maybe there's a way. Maybe there's something I don't know. Maybe there is a way for this to actually be okay, and actually I could fit into this situation. You're kind of having this thunderstorm, like hot-cold front going on here. Like, I don't know. I feel like I can't do it. I don't feel like I have enough value to add to the situation. Yet this person still wants me and I would like this to happen. Maybe I can fit into this. And it's just kind of like back and forth going on here. Now what we're coming forward to next is the Queen of Cups. You're feeling it for this person. You are really starting to connect with this person. The emotions are there. The spark is there. But the Queen, and a lot of times, I don't know if it's just this deck or, no, it's not just this deck. I feel like you're looking at the situation and you're kind of, you want to hand that cup over to the person you're dating. You're kind of like, I want to tell them how much I feel, but I'm not really sure if I'm ready to do that. And you're really kind of thinking it over, like, do I want to open myself up that way? If I do that, am I going too far, too fast? You're thinking about it. You're contemplating telling them. You're not going to move forward until you feel secure, until you feel ready. You're not going to do it. I'm getting that with the Queen. The Queen typically has a lot of control, especially when she's upright. And I know I read cards upright, but I'm feeling in this section, you're considering it, but you're not going to go forward until you're comfortable. Now, boom. I feel like this is a fairly good ending. You got the Ace of Cups, and I feel like a lot of you would be like, what do you mean that's Ace of Cups? How could that not be a good ending? The card that matches it in the environment is Prosperity. This person sees a lot of value in you. And I am getting like the two of you are sharing how you feel about each other. Now, there's 3 face-up cards, 1 face-down card. I did cheat, and I looked at the face-down card because I was like, what could go with this card? I just had that bad feeling about it. Well, we'll see. Ace of Cups. The two of you are expressing how you feel. It's matching. This person is into you. You're into them. You've got the energy. There's a lot of passion here. The energy's there. But you'll notice this other one is glamour. And I saw that. And that's why I had to flip that other card. Because I'm just like, what is there? And I had a negative feeling about it. But we'll see. Glamour is saying it's not as good as it seems. Everything you're perceiving about this person, not everything, but you're thinking, you're viewing them up on this pedestal, and you're viewing them up on this pedestal. This pedestal does not really exist. They're down here with you. You're on the same level. You're both equals. Not that you're down or anything. You know what I mean. You're on the same level. Because the face down card that you're soon to discover, actually that's how it comes in. The Tower card. When this person expresses to you that love and you have that love back, that's going to open the door, and they're going to start sharing things with you that you had no idea about. There's a lot of things that are not perfect in their life, and they don't publicize this information. It's very private to them, but this is when you find out about that stuff. Once they feel safe and secure that you care about them and that you're not going to run, then they start sharing the not so pleasant part of what goes on in their life. And I feel like this balances this situation out perfectly. I don't feel like you're distraught about it. I feel like you're shocked because you really thought this person was I feel like you had them on a pedestal. I really do. The shock is that you didn't see any of this. But the trick with the tower is it breaks something down, but it leaves something new to be built fresh, to more secure, a better start, a new start. This is a gift, because I feel like when the old way of thinking is blown out of the water and you're left with the truth, you can really build this relationship in a really good way. And I feel like you're feeling more valued, you're feeling more on the level. This inadequate feeling, gone, done. No need to have that now. They seem more human to you now. I don't know if that's fair. They seem more normal now. I don't know. How do you want to put it? The pie in the sky Disney, the fantasy that it looked like their life was, is not the case. But the fact that they're just as human and going through the same type of things you're going through, it just makes this so much easier. It makes it better. Like, you feel better about it. I don't know how to explain it. Like, you don't want bad things to happen to this person. But when you realize, like, you do fit into this person's life, it's not as Disney-esque as it looked. It just feels more comfortable. Like, you wouldn't wish this on somebody. You wouldn't wish somebody to have hardships. But it just feels more realistic. Like, oh, okay, your life is more like mine than I saw before. It's just they don't share that stuff unless somebody's close enough to them. They don't let people know that those things go on in their life. I don't feel like it's that bad. It's just an evening. It just evens things out. It feels good to me. All right. I feel like I've talked about it enough, so I'm going to let it be there. Thank you for watching, of course. If you'd like a direct reading from me, go ahead and shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.